Hello everyone, and welcome to the Insaka talk show story time during the week, midweek. We are live in the studio with Priska Van Vestas Chiro from Maryland and our dear Pastor Nathan Nkhama from ZBTR TV is here in the studio with us. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I am well. How are you, Pastor Nathan? How are you?
It's been a minute since I was here. Have I ever been here?
You sound, I don't know about you, Priska, but he sounds low for me.
Very low for me too.
I sound low.
Okay,
How is that?
Much
much
better.
better.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay.
Much better. Okay, you can try again. What were you saying?
I was saying that it's good to be here. And
Mm.
I was just thinking, have I ever been here before?
Yes, sir, you have.
Yes, you have. I know for some birthday celebrations, you've been here a few times.
Oh, okay. Yes. I remember that. I
And
remember.
when we talked about the relationship, marriage, we
Hmm.
talked about, yeah, something in that line.
To
Okay.
do, yes, to do with keeping up keeping the fire burning. I think it was
Yes.
in relationships.
I remember I was rushing from church. I was in
Yeah,
traffic and I told myself, don't panic, just take it easy.
Yeah.
and that's the reason why our shows are Saturday and Sunday respectively because of our schedules, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's always hard to
How's
find.
Maryland?
Maryland is fine. It's nice and warm today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the office. Of course, it's very cold upstairs. So I'm downstairs and I open the door. So it's nice and warm.
Mary, how many more days before we land there?
Ooh,
Yes,
who's counting?
let's really, really happy.
No, because I feel like for me when I start counting, I feel that anxiety, like I want to go tomorrow. So I
Okay.
want to wait until I'm a week away, which is why I pack the day before.
Oh Lord.
Don't
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
heavy.
Anyway, we are here today. Story time on Insaka, remembering the now late Dr. Maureen Mwanawasa, former First Lady of Zambia. It is really tragic and came as a shock to many of us. Probably those that were close to her may know more information, but personally, it came as a big shock. I was not aware of any illnesses, and to hear that she passed is indeed very sad because she's young. She had so much more to live for, given her age. She's younger than even my mother. So, um, yeah, Priska.
I didn't know much about her. I was not there in an era when she was the first lady. But one thing that I learned about her was she's the one that kind of started the woman empowerment thing, like the first lady with the Maureen Mwanawasa Foundation. She started empowering women. She used to have, I think it was dinners, like dinners or gala where she would raise money and support empower other women to start businesses. And also a little bit that I know of her, I think she's a mixture of Michelle Obama and Jackie Kennedy when it comes to style, intelligence, just being the, when you say successful man, there's a woman behind that man that's, the force. That's what I knew of her. But I am so sorry for the loss. And this is for the whole Zambia in that family. So my condolences. I don't know if we should have a moment of silence.
Yeah, after Pastor Nathan, I know you've had your own moments with her. What are your thoughts about her passing, and what do you remember most?
Um, a lot. Time is not with us. The point that Priska makes about being a duo combination of Jackie Kennedy and Michelle Obama could not be said any better than that. She was a vibrant woman, and The Mwanawasa presidency and the era is one that I followed closely because, if I may use the word, I was a fan of President Mwanawasa. I liked his personality. He was firm.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tolerate any nonsense and foolishness, if we may say
Yeah.
that. Even in his press conferences, even if he had that speech impediment, but you could tell that he was able to, um, to put across what he wanted to say. And his wife was a very strong woman too. I don't know whether you want me to talk about the time she came on our talk show 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, on July 7th, 2012.
Wow.
Mm.
And I said to myself, wow, how we take things for granted when we're dealing with these people and when
Mm-hmm.
we host them on these shows, Insaka, ZBTR. And thank God for technology. It keeps these archives and you're able to go back.
Yeah.
My interaction with Mrs. Mwanawasa was, I did interacted with her, not in person, but of course, several times on media, and we talked about several things. And
Mm-hmm.
she knew what she stood for. And Maureen Mwanawasa Community Initiative was
Mm-hmm.
one thing that a lot of things that people may not know right now concerning women's rights and children's rights in Zambia was as a result of her work.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was definitely a powerhouse. And speaking of, your interaction with her, Pastor Nathan, we do have a short clip when she appeared on ZBTR. Back then, it was just audio. So I want to go ahead and just play a little bit of that so we can at least hear her voice, um, hear her voice. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and get that played for us. Let's see. My apologies. We are having a little bit of a technical issue, but we will come back to that once I get it opened. But yeah, she was definitely a powerhouse. I'll go to my experience with her.
Mhm,
So she she was actually President Mwanawasa before he was president.
mhm.
She and the husband worked closely. They had a law firm, the Mwanawasa law firm,
Hmm.
and they were our family lawyers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they were our family lawyers. They fought for us to make sure that, when my dad was recalled from foreign service, he didn't get his benefits. And so they took up the case and fought and made sure that my dad got his benefits from when he was working in foreign service. When my dad passed away, they made sure that we, the children, the family, got our inheritance um, squarely. So, yeah, that was the beginning of my interaction with the Mwanawasa family. And then,
Mhm,
fast forward, we met again in 2021 when I was shooting the documentary with Manasseh on how I got here.
mhm,
It was just a mere coincidence. I was in Kabwe. She happened to be in Kabwe at the same place where I was staying.
Hmm.
And yeah, so we started chatting again. We started talking and whatnot. And then she tells me she actually went to the same school that I went to. So that is the picture of us in Kabwe. Um, and she was there with the Habitat for Humanity
Wow.
team. Uh, and that's when we took this picture.
mm. It's amazing.
Just a very, very down to earth person, very down to earth. So, from this interaction, this is the school that she went to. It's called Raphael Kombe. It was Raphael Kombe Primary School. Then I went to this school. My mom went to this school. Mrs.
Wow.
Wow.
went to this school, and I went to this school for the first 4 grades of my life because I lived with my grandmother in Chimanimani in Kabwe. And
Is that where the school is located, Chimanimani?
yes, in Chimanimani.
Okay.
So it's now a girls' secondary school. So we started talking, and then come to find out she went to this school, and so we agreed and we created a WhatsApp group so that we could help further the school. And we started communicating about how we can donate computers, how we can make sure that we provide sanitary pads and whatnot. So these were some of the plans that we had with herself and a young lady called Immaculate, and another man that used to go to this school, lives in Lusaka now. So again, quite a shock. And this was a meeting that we had in Lusaka to discuss the same initiative. She was always about helping. She was always about, especially for the girl child. She was an advocate. She was somebody that really pushed initiatives. And so we had this meeting with Immaculate, who was the chairperson. And you know what? I will go ahead and follow through with what we started.
Yeah.
I will
That's
go
good.
ahead and follow through for Rafael Kombe with what we started. And very, very saddened for her children, her immediate family, and of course, the nation of Zambia.
Yeah.
I think it's. I like what you have said about going ahead with what you started. That would be a good way to
To
keep her
honor.
legacy
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yes, it's that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea. Those photos you've shared, they are so beautiful. And mm, one thing you said they are a law firm. She was a partner
Mhm.
in that firm, right? With her
Yes.
husband. She's a lawyer by profession, those that may not know.
Yes.
She actually she did her law at UNZA. And
Mhm.
Oh,
I think she did it, what do they call it? Mature age entry, something like that.
Mhm.
The reason I say that is because she was classmates with my nephew.
oh.
Yeah.
In law
One,
school?
One thing I remember about the Mwanawasa Mneli, when you mentioned their law firm, you remember leading up to the elections 91, 90, during the UNIP era, and MMD came up. You remember what Mwanawasa is known for?
Mm-mm.
Court injunction. He is the one who started that issue of putting injunctions on whatever UNIP was doing.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think it's something that I mean, I know it, so it was there in the law of Zambia, but it's
You're
there,
going in and out?
you are not familiar with it. You know what I'm saying? So when Mwanawasa started invoking that court injunction thing, he was known for that.
Yeah, and Pastor Nathan, the Mwanawasa presidency, to this day, I believe he's one of the best presidents that ever served in Zambia because of his zero tolerance for corruption. He ran on a zero tolerance for corruption campaign, and he really, really lived up to his promises. And so, like you said, Priska, before, behind every successful man, obviously she was there, she was pushing, she was participating and making sure that, these promises are fulfilled. I
Yeah.
want to play a clip. I was able to get that. So let me go ahead and play just for a little bit when she appeared on ZBTR 12 years ago, was it, Pastor Nathan?
July
12
7th,
years ago. Wow.
2020.
Yeah. One moment. Here we go. Okay.
A few weeks ago to review the Constitution. I also belong to the Women in Business. We also prepared a business paper to look at the economic impact of the Constitution on women. So we were at Mulungushi for 2 days to create a position paper, which is being presented to the Constitutional Review Commission. and which will hopefully will form part of the discussions which will create the further debate on the Constitution.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So a few weeks ago, you had told me about a convention, a women's convention on the Constitution that you had attended. What was that part of what you just described?
Yes, it was brought about by the non-governmental coordinating committee, which drew women from all the 10 provinces, all the districts into Lusaka, and it was supported by the United Nations and the UNDP to allow women from all levels of society, marketeers, women chiefs, professionals, regardless of where you are coming from, to gather in Lusaka and debate the issues that affect us. So I was on the committee which was discussing the clauses that you referred to, 51, 52, 53, I think up to 54, which was discussing particularly the women's rights and the further rights that have been given to women and the children.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Just a comment, a point, Nelly. Those of
Mm-hmm.
you who would like to listen to that full broadcast, I've posted the link on my personal.
I don't know if it's me. You're going in and out. We can hear you.
Let me do this.
Sorry.
Good.
It's what you have to say is very important. We cannot afford to miss that.
Yeah.
Say those of you who would like to hear the full broadcast of that, the clip that you played, I've
Mhm.
posted the link on my personal Facebook page. I think it will also be available on Insaka, and it's also available on ZBTR TV Facebook page. The young lady that was interviewing her on that conversation is Bwalia Chilea. She used to live in Oregon. She relocated back to Zambia. That was the time ZBTR, we were really pushing for engaging and having different voices on the show. So we've been trying to do this for a while, where it's just not Nathan, Roger, and you
Mhm.
hear the voice. It wasn't me
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave up a big interview to a young lady like that. Okay.
We lost you again.
Oh my goodness. You hear me now?
No.
Nah, I wear it like pretty
Pretty regular.
Yes, please do.
regular. All right, is that good?
A little bit. Much
Little
good.
better.
Okay, I'll just go back to my regular whatever. I'm some high-tech stuff here.
Okay, Mama Zaira.
I know you did not say okay. I was afraid to say that.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I mean, based on that clip, honestly, I would love to go back and listen to the entire conversation, because it really gives you an insight into the kind of woman that she was. She was an advocate for sure. And bringing, chieftainesses and marketeers and, people, women from all kinds of social rankings together,
Yeah.
for a common cause. That is something,
I hope
so. Mhm.
someone is working on a documentary with everything that she started. Like Pastor Nathan said, she's the woman behind the women empowerment, the children that fought for everything. Like Zambia is what it is today when it comes to children and women. Even Rose to BC, I think she interviewed her. Pastor Nathan, you mentioned Kwangu as well. So I think we should come back on Insaka Zambia Blog Talk Radio and talk more about her. And somebody should do a documentary about her.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah, for the Zambian producers out there, Mr. T,
Mr. Owasmope,
Mr. Oasmwape,
Azadi Films.
Kazadi Films, Delphine. You
Yeah.
guys look into that. Let's see if we can do a documentary on her. Definitely, she has done quite a lot in the short span that God gave her on this earth, you know. Yeah, and in the interest of time, and just because, story time, we don't really take a whole lot of time. We just wanted to come on here and give our condolences to the family and to the nation of Zambia, as well as just to remember the beautiful soul that was Dr. Maureen Mwanawasa. Excuse me. Any parting words before we close out with a moment of silence?
I think I would say, like both you and Priska are saying,
Still can't hear you.
it's not working.
No.
No, stop calling anything. Just use a regular one. Of all days, the devil's a liar.
I know.
Let me just say my sincere condolences. Priska, you can wind it up.
No, you're good. We can hear you now.
Okay, I was saying that I think she's done, our legacy should continue, and we need to work very hard to ensure that it doesn't just fizzle off like that. And another interesting thing I just thought about Nelly Priska is that we've also had the son, Patrick Mwanawasa, on the show.
Oh.
I met Patrick Mwanawasa. It was here for school, right?
I'm not sure about that. I can't.
It was in South Africa. It was in South Africa for school. I met Patrick Mwanawasa.
So, like Nelia said, everybody look out for that full-fledged show where we're going to feature people that experience Mrs. Mwanawasa. I think people like Chisoma Lombe should come on. Remember, she did the First Lady's fashion, I don't know what you call it, parade or walk, where all the former First Ladies were dressed up. And we look forward to that conversation.
Yeah, that was well done. That was well done. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to end this with a moment of silence. And from all of us at the Insaka Talk Show and Zambia Blog Talk Radio, thank you so much for joining us. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.